Money. Money. All about the money.
We don't need your money. Actually,
Money, green, money.
Okay.
Money.
Anyway.
Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of Media Matters. We are the 7th grade media literacy class at North Salem Middle School. In our class, we try to be more critically aware consumers and creators of media and technology. Today we're going to be talking about the internet and looking at it more closely. There's a lot more to it than most of us think or probably know.
Do you know how the internet works?
No.
Okay. Do you know how the internet works?
No, I do not.
Okay.
How do you think the internet works?
Buy a box and cables.
I think that there are robots that are looking at our search history.
Cables and satellites and
IDK. I don't know.
no idea.
How does the internet work? Do you know how the internet works?
No.
Okay.
You click on it and everything is all better for it.
So we heard from a lot of people who don't know how the internet works, but how does the internet actually work?
So when you send a message or an email to a person, it turns into radio waves in the air.
The data on the radio waves either go to a cell tower or a router. And then from the cell tower there are cables called fiber optic cables, and they're as thin as a strand of hair, and they go all around the world, even in the ocean. And if they're in the ocean, they have to have a whole protective layer around them.
The ocean or wherever they go, they get sent to data centers, which are kind of like the BJ or Costco of data. It's really big. I'm Isabel.
I'm Maeve.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Cody.
So do you guys know what's up with the metaphor of the cloud?
I do. It's like when you have your phone and if you get a new phone, say, and you're scared that all your photos and stuff won't save, but it's all part of your cloud.
Like when you back it up to the cloud?
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about all your stuff being lost because it's actually in a big data center.
Yeah, because it's not actually a cloud.
And all those internet people just tell us that because clouds are clean and fluffy
And make you happy.
Yeah.
And in reality, it's stored in big, gross, loud, hot data centers.
You know that? I bet you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's up, guys? We're back and we're better. We're here with Brayden, Rory, and Aaron. Say what's up, guys.
What's up?
What's up?
Why do you guys think internet is so important, Brayden?
Well,
Internet is one of the most important things in this world because it lets us communicate around the world. Without internet, it'd be so hard for people to get information around the world. It would be it would take days just to send a letter to somebody. But with internet, you can just text somebody and they'll get it right away. Chop, chop, like that.
I think the internet makes things much easier than they would have been before. Like Brandon said, we have instant communication now, which is important for not even normal people, for people like world leaders, trying to get information around.
I think internet is important because obviously communication with your friends, but also when you're bored on a plane or a long car ride, you need something to entertain you.
It's also very important because it has to do with a lot of banking.
Nowadays, you can do everything on the internet.
So now we're going to move on to the next segment, and we have the negative sides that come with so much internet use that the world uses. Now, a gigantic problem with the age right with all the data that we need for the internet. We have to have data centers. Now, these are one of the biggest problems because they get really hot and overheated. And the only way right now to cool them down is with water. So that's causing a lot of problems. So I'm going to hand this one over for Roy right now.
And about the water, it's wasting millions of gallons of water.
Drain a lot of the water, so around the world people are losing water for themselves because of all the water.
And water is the most valuable asset in the world. Without water,
We
no
die.
ecosystem. Exactly. There's no living things in the entire universe, and there's no water.
There'll be no more water.
Data centers use a ton of energy. As a result, it has a greater carbon footprint than the airline industry. A single data center can consume the equivalent electricity of 50,000 homes, and that's from the MIT Press Reader.
So what people are doing about this is that they're protesting against building them everywhere.
So, the big question is, guys, do you think the internet is worth it?
I think there is a problem, but I think when there's a problem like the internet, you don't want to get rid of it fully because it still has positives. It's better to work on the negatives.
But I feel like it's still way too important that we can just get rid of. It's a bigger problem if you want to do that.
I think they should get rid of phones, go back to the house phones so you can call your friends on there.
So I think one of the ways we could fix this is what we talked about, the water. We could put data centers in more cool places to use colder air to cool down the machines instead of building them in like hot areas like Virginia.
I'm Ella.
I'm Jordana.
And I'm Kerry.
The internet's great because you can use it for entertainment, communicating, and like going on social media and seeing what other people are doing.
Another problem that people don't really know is called e-waste. It stands for electronic waste, like when you throw out like your gadgets and stuff.
E-waste is our like phones, computers, and stuff that we use, and when they're done, we ship them out to poor countries, and they just like scattered it everywhere.
Yeah, and don't they like look for like copper in like all the gold?
Most people think that they're recycled, but they're not. Only like a little piece of them are really recycled.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the metals in them are really rare and precious, so people like try to take them apart to find those.
People who like live in the waste area, they work to take apart copper and all the metals that they can find.
But
And some places can't like afford it. Like the U.S. is rich and can afford to ship the e-waste.
They like take apart their computers. It creates toxic fumes for people to breathe. It pollutes the water and land which they drink out of, and is pretty dangerous for them to work in.
like when like they breathe in the toxic fumes, like it like makes people sick, like who are living there, and it could kill them.
I feel like there's like a lot more cons to it, but there's also some pros.
Yeah, some good positives.
Yeah.
But I feel like we could do more about it, recycling more
Mhm.
of it.
So we could make it so like it's not as bad. Like we could like come up with something that'll make it better for the like environment.
Yeah, and we can't really like take it away because like sometimes people use it for like emergencies and stuff,
Yeah.
and like you can't really send letters.
So is the internet really worth it? I mean, there's lots of issues that, like, it's not fairly distributed or damaging the environment.
I mean, it's kind of like half and half, because, like, I mean, on the internet, social media, and you can, like, keep yourself entertained.
Yeah.
But also in, like, data centers, like, there's, like, tons of machines everywhere, and it gets, like, super hot.
And they use a lot of water.
And they have to use water that you have to drink.
There's people in like different countries and places that actually need the water and we're just wasting it.
Yeah, and there are hundreds of cables going everywhere, so if you just tap into one of those cables, you could steal information.
Oh yeah, and also there's also tons of like e-waste that goes to other poor countries. It goes to like places like in Africa, like Ghana. There's little kid who's like working there, which is sad.
Well, I think the internet's like a really important part of my life and like other people's life, but I think like it's not worth it.
But is there a more sustainable way to use the internet? Could we maybe, instead of using lots of water to cool it off, we could use maybe used water, like treated water, or we could try making our own treatment plants to extract technology instead of sending it to poor countries.
I think it would be so much better if we found a more sustainable way, like Shannon said, because then we could use the internet, because like kids our age could not like live without internet, like our life is the internet, so that would be better.
Yeah, I like watching videos and
Even though internet is very, very, very important, there are some things that are not good that data centers do. And they're also like not fairly distributed, like how we talked about, but like in the continent like Europe, there's so many.
There are also like geopolitical issues, like how countries
cut
more
off
power and stuff. So they like cut off the internet to other countries.
Mm-hmm.
So they can get the more power.
It's just like who's the alpha now?
It's
Not you.
Oh yeah, e-waste.
But like the parts of the technology things that you're using are ending up in landfills in countries in like Africa. Like Ghana has so many wasted technology stuff.
And because the USA is so rich and can afford to ship this e-waste out of our countries, we don't have to deal with it. Metals, like are precious, and people work to take them apart without good tools or safety. So it creates like toxic fumes for people to breathe.
And then it pollutes the water and the land, which is not good.
It's making people who live there really, really sick or killing them.
Do you think that the internet is a good thing or a bad thing? I don't think the internet is worth it. I'd rather live on this earth and have this earth be a fully nice, clean, fresh place.
Stop dumping the garbage into people's innocent homelands.
I think that if you need to throw out an electronic, then don't just throw it out in the trash. Because then that is bringing it to awful landfills that should be nice and clean and nourished for that continent. I suggest that if you have an electronic that you want to throw out, you should go to Apple and ask them to decompose it and use all the products that are good.
Yeah, we can make that
so
stuff.
they're not wasting so much electronics. The internet is not a cloud. It's a real system of parts that is physically around the world.
For all it's good, it also has some serious harms for people and the environment.
We hope you enjoyed
and learned about the internet.
See you in the next episode of Media Matters.
Peace out.
Alright guys, this is the end of the podcast. Peace out.
Bye bye.